Hi, welcome to Motivational Monday. My name is Dominique Williams and my mission is to motivate you. So there was a little boy and his name was Billy. Well, Billy was about 5 years old when he goes to his first basketball game, and during halftime, his favorite player was coming past his bleacher to go to the locker room. He taps him on the shoulder and he says, "How do I get to be as good as you?" The basketball player looks up at him and he says, "The answer's in your hand, my friend." And Billy looked at his hands for the entire rest of the game, trying to figure out what was in his hand that was so special. And he couldn't figure it out, so he asked his dad. And he couldn't figure it out, so he asked his mom. And she couldn't figure it out. And Billy never knew what he meant for 15 years. When he was 20 years old, he was playing poker with his friends. He looked at his hand, he placed a large bet, and he smiled. And his first friend said, "I fold." The second friend said, "I fold," and the third friend folded as well. And as Billy was bringing his chips to his side of the table, his friends asked him, "Well, what was in your hand?" Billy looked at his hand, he looked at his friends, and he smiled, and he said, "I didn't have anything in my hand." All of a sudden it clicked. All of a sudden he finally understood what the basketball player was telling him 15 years later. The basketball player was saying, it doesn't matter what's in your hand as long as there's something in your hand. And if there's something in your hand, it's all about the way you play the game. When I was a kid, I always used to wonder, what about me is so great? What about me is special? What's gonna set me apart? Because I couldn't shoot a free throw perfectly every time. I wasn't the fastest 40-yard dash, and apparently my dad said I wasn't too good in math. But then one day, it dawned on me. There are 3 things it takes to be good at anything. It takes 3 things to be great at anything. Are you listening? It takes some TCD. Time, commitment, development. If you've got time, if you got commitment and you got development, you will be great at these things. You got to commit yourself to doing it. You got to commit yourself to having the time, and then you got to develop that skill or that talent. You'll get there. You'll be great. Now, I'm going to start a new thing. It's called #PQOTW, your power quote of the week. This week's comes from Zig Ziglar, and he said, if there's hope in the future, there must be power in the present. There's so much power in the present that I want to give you a present. I want to give you this sweatshirt. I designed this sweatshirt. It says exactly that. If there's hope in the future, there must be power in the present. Do that right there. And so I want to give you one. And here's how. I need you to repost this video on either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And then once you repost it, I need you to tag me in it and do 2 hashtags. The first one is Power Present, and then the second hashtag is DWSpeaks95. Now, when you tag me on Facebook, it's at Dominique Williams, and if you tag me on Instagram and Twitter, it's at DWSpeaks95. Well, this about wraps up this Motivational Monday for this week. I'll talk to you guys a little later, and always remember, today is motivated because you make it so. I'll see you next time. Y'all have a good one.